Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about a deep dive into arrays in C++. Arrays are one of the most important data structures you'll learn early on, and they show up everywhere once you start working with functions, loops, and even files. What is an array? An array is a fixed size collection of values where all elements must be the same data type. That means you can't mix integers and strings in the same array. Once an array is created, its size cannot change. This is very important because unlike vectors, arrays don't grow or shrink dynamically. So for this example, when we write int numbers 5, we're telling the program to reserve space for exactly 5 integers in memory. That space is decided at compile time, not while the program is running. How arrays store data. Array elements are stored right next to each other in memory. This makes accessing values very fast because each element can be found using its index. Indexes always start at 0, not 1. So in this example, array int numbers 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Index 0 is 10, index 1 is 20, index 2 is 30, index 3 is 40, index 4 is 50. Even though there are 5 values, the last index is 4, not 5. This is one of the most common sources of bugs for beginners. Using loops and modifying arrays. Since arrays store multiple values, we almost always use loops to work with them. A for loop lets us visit each element one by one. For example, this loop prints every value in the array. Inside the loop, I represents the index. We can also modify array elements using their index. For example, numbers 299. This changes the third element of the array. Arrays are mutable, meaning you can change individual elements even though the array its size itself is fixed. Partially filled arrays. I think this is a really important concept. A partially filled array means the array has a fixed size, but not all slots are being used. To handle this, we use a separate variable, usually called numUsed, to track how many elements actually contain valid data. When using loops, we never loop to the full array size. We only loop from 0 to numUsed. This prevents us from reading garbage values and allows us to safely insert or remove elements by shifting values left or right. Partially filled arrays are extremely common in real programs and show up before students learn vectors. Common mistakes. I think one of the biggest mistakes with arrays is out-of-bounds access. Arrays in C++ do not check bounds. That means this code, when you type in this code, it's going to make an error because it goes one step too far. The correct version is one small mistake like this can crash your program or cause unpredictable behavior, which is why array bugs can be hard to debug. To wrap things up, arrays are fast, simple, and powerful, but they require careful index management. Once you understand arrays, concepts like vectors, strings, and file processing become so much easier. Thanks for watching.